Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. As you guys can see from the title, I will be giving this video. I'm going to just be briefly discussing large print books. This is my first time ever reading a large print book. And now I'm not naive. Of course, I'm well aware of the fact that I have -0 clout or name recognition on BookTube. So I probably don't really expect anyone to have a real make response videos about this or start an actual, dialogue their own experiences with large print books, what they personally think of people who have fairly good eyesight reading large print books when they're not the intended main audience for them. But, at least maybe I can get a few comments talking about it, or maybe people down the line will see the video and decide to make their own videos exploring the topic in some depth. I am still hopeful I might have more channel growth moving forward. But so anyway, I really, really liked this author. I previously read one of her books, Shine Like the Dawn, maybe 2 months or so ago, and I loved it. I made a wonderful video about it, and I was just so honored when the author herself actually commented on that video and said she really enjoyed my review. But anyway, so I decided I really would love to read some more of her books, and unfortunately, this was the only copy of this particular book at any of the libraries, and it just happened to be in large print, and I was, going back and forth. Should I really get a large print book out? I'm not, blind, God forbid. I'm not legally blind. I mean, without my scleral contacts, I am very poor eyesight in my right eye, and it's gotten worse since the last time I had an eye exam. And I just did get a new pair of scleral lenses, but even with correction for my eyes, I still can see very well. I don't really need a large print book. I've never really had such of a problem reading a so-called normal sized books, although as I have gotten older, eyes aren't what they used to be for almost anyone. Even if you have great vision for decades and decades, it might have still eventually catch up with you when you're in your 70s or 80s. And if not, I kind of hate you. Sorry, not sorry, but mass market paperback size books, they've been harder and harder for me to read as I've gotten older. The print is so tiny and the book is so small, and the spine breaks when you hold it open if it's above a certain length. So it's kind of much better for my eyes than I had expected. And I went to Reddit to see what people might be saying. I mean, of course, Reddit, it's a toxic cluster. What's so much political groupthink and so many subreddits. So I 99.99999% of the time I only read Reddit. I do not bother wading into that dumpster fire and subreddits. But so I was looking up what librarians and booksellers and general readers think of reading large print books when you yourself don't have any sight problems. And some people said, oh, it's horrible, you're not blind or seeing impaired, leave it for the people who really need that. Or some people said okay, if it's the only copy in any of the libraries in the system, it's cool, you can read it. Someone needs to appreciate the books they have. And or some people said, yeah, of course, you can read it, but if someone has a hold on it, return it to the library, don't keep it out, renew it 4 or 5 times, some libraries, the Guilderland back in my home state of New York, they had that many renewals for a book. That's kind of greedy, particularly when there might be people who really do have genuine seeing problems who need that book. And other people who are librarians said, oh, we're so happy when anyone, we don't care what their sight problems or sight health is we just are so happy to see someone checking out. One person even said she or someone at the library says to the books, oh yay, I'm so happy someone is having an adventure with you. You're leaving the library and going on a little journey, because they just love to see large print books getting love. Apparently they're just not as widely read or checked out as certain other books. And that also, I didn't realize, this gives the librarian a signal, oh, people are checking these books out, we should order more of them, and that just helps everyone. And so it definitely looks a little bit, well, a little more than a little bit different than the the so-called standard size print books I'm used to reading. So you can see this is much larger. I would say maybe 14 or 16 point typefaces compared with them. This is one of her other books. You guys can see this is much smaller print, the normal 12 size, and depending on the word count, sometimes a book might set the type at 11 point, or like sometimes even like, 10 point, though that's usually mostly only for like headers and footers. And you can see the differences. Well, you can see this is a difference between the chapter breaking and the so-called normal sized print book, and this is how it looks in the large print book. It's just like no like special, like, not what you call it, setting, like a no special header with like, like curly cues or little flowers. Some authors or typesetters put that. It's just like 7 in very large print. And I not feeling like, demeaned at all by reading a large print book. I thought like, oh, this is going to feel like I'm regressing to being a big old, like a 4-year-old or something who needs large print books because my eyes aren't mature enough yet to handle the adult size like typefaces that people look forward to graduating to when they, start to get older. But it's been really great, and it does make you feel like you're like reading a lot faster because you can get through a page quicker because the print is larger. And guess what, this is another side bonus: when the light is fading, or you have like poor lighting, you can read it so much more easily. Although of course that shouldn't be an excuse for anyone to deliberately like read in like very bad lighting or whatever. But sometimes there's like little choice, and so it pops out so much easier, so it's much better on your eyes that way. And it's just like so many other things about it. I'm fumbling for my words here, but again, and just like so many reasons, it's comfortable on my eyes. I'm so sorry I lost my train of thought thanks to this video being unscripted. I was going to say I could also comfortably read a large print book before I have put my scleral lenses in, and after I've taken them out for the night, although like I almost never like go without the lenses since I've gotten them 5 years ago. Like even like glasses don't really do it anymore, and I'm so long overdue to get an updated glasses prescription. Anyway, I see like crap one of the few times I have to wear my glasses for like 10-15 minutes. And so this is like a really great experience, like not at all like I thought I was going to feel like, oh, I'm like an old person, oh no, oh gross, so the librarians are going to be judging me, and like I'm going to feel like what am I doing? I'm like humiliating myself because I don't need large print. Why couldn't I like buy the book or wait for the library to like buy a copy with like so-called normal print, or just not read books at all when I see they have like large print? Now, it's not like that at all, so I was like losing a lot of my like preconceived like misconceptions about this thing. And I really do like how it tells the library to order more large print books, and it apparently, I guess that works for other things. Oh, even if you don't read Braille yourself, you're going to check them out just so the library knows they should be ordering more Braille books, and that ultimately benefits the people who genuinely need them. I had seen large print books of some books I was interested in getting out at one of my favorite branch of this library. I currently live in this area. I'm going to be doing a video tour of that library upcoming in future. But so anyway, I had seen some books I would have liked to check out at that library sometime in the past. But when I saw they were large print, like, oh, why bother? This is going to be like a terrible experience. It's just like, dumbing down my reading ability when I'm not like, legally blind. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself over and over again. If you're still watching, thanks for being patient with me. And so it's not at all like I had feared, although Reddit, like a couple of people couldn't help going down that road. Like it's not at all like taking a disabled like toilet stall from someone who genuinely needs it, because like you don't need to read a book, and of course like don't get it out if you see there's a hold on it, or like return it as quickly as possible if you see someone has a hold coming up behind you. But like other than that, it's like no one is checking, oh, I've got to see your medical records, like Mrs. or Mr. or Ms. like library patron. Oh, I see you have very good eyesight. Oh, put that back on the shelf. Like, how dare you take that book away from someone who's going blind? It's not like that at all. They don't like, check your eyesight. They just want to see people checking the books out, period, and reading them. And then that also goes, like the large print, the Braille, the foreign language books. So maybe if your library only has like, a couple of books in a certain language, like, whatever, like maybe a Native American language or something like that, and it was a big, like ask of people a really big risk they took. And when they see people actually checking those books out, maybe they don't even read the language themselves. They just want the book to get more exposure in the libraries, like, I guess, the authority chain, whatever you would call it. And so they buy more books like that. And soon it becomes like a whole nice little, like, shelf of the library, and more maybe like Native Americans who speak that language decide to come to the library, or students studying that language at university just like that. And so that really just helps everyone. It's getting back to the disabled, toilet thing. Like, sometimes, unfortunately, like, everything else is, like, packed. Everyone's using it, like, men's, like, women's, or like the family unisex bathroom or whatever. Like, for example, sometimes at the Colony Library, they were all like single stall bathrooms. Like, there's only one toilet in the room, so it's not like, like, all these other people seeing you coming in. Oh, you're not disabled. So if, God forbid, all the other bathrooms are like taken and you really, really have to go, sometimes, like, the disabled bathroom is like the only choice, and you get in and you get out really quickly. And of course, you don't use that bathroom if someone in a wheelchair is actually there. There was this one time, like, when right after my car accident on Yom Kippur, when I was, like, still in a wheelchair, and the external fixator in my leg. And you should have seen the look on the face of the woman who came out of the disabled, like, bathroom after, like, the morning services. Like, she was so horrified. She was fully able-bodied, and she took the disabled stall away from someone who was, like, actually in a wheelchair. And to her credit, she helped me, get into the stall in the wheelchair, and, like, stayed until I came out. But so anyway, don't think like taking a large print book is at all like, taking away like a disabled toilet when you don't need it. Like, or sometimes it can be, like I said, like in and out in an emergency. But of course, you would prefer to read the normal print book, and that's what you will, like, continue doing, like, almost all of the time. But sometimes, like, when there's no choice, like, embrace the new experience, I guess. So thank you guys very much for listening all the way through to the end of this extremely rambling, unscripted, like, video. Thank you guys very much if you, like, actually watched all the way through instead of, like, DNFing me in amusement. And it would be nice to see, maybe, like, some responses, like, eventually, maybe not soon or so, whatever. I do need a long way to go to, like, build my clout and name recognition on BookTube. But so just let me know down in the comments what you guys think of reading large print books when you have, like, perfectly good or, like, good enough eyesight like mine. Have you felt as you've gotten older, if you're in the over 40 set like I am, that, like, mass market paperbacks just aren't so good on your eyes, or, like, holding comfortably in your hands anymore as you've gotten older? What is your personal, like, favorite preferred trim size, if you even are familiar with the different trim sizes? I'm speaking as a writer. I know probably most people on BookTube wouldn't be, familiar off the top of their heads. If I said, like, 5.5 by 8.5, like 6 by 9, like 7 by 10, or some of the, like, more non-standard, like, trim sizes. I think mass market paperback is 4 by 7, I believe. I don't think it's 4 by 8, but whatever. Just your favorite, like, size of a book. Do you personally feel you would benefit, or you would prefer, maybe, if, like, typesetters and formatters made the font, the typeface, bigger than the standard 12? Maybe, like, 13 or 14 might be a little bit more helpful, but without, like, being full-on large print. Have you ever read a large print book yourself before? And I am looking forward to doing a full review video of this book when I finish reading it. I am really enjoying it. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.